Hello, Vivekanand. Hello, Mr. Prabhakar. My name is Mridu Kapoor, and on behalf of Vaani Coach, I welcome you here. How are you?
I am fine, ma'am.
Great.
Fine.
Good to know that. Great. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Prabhakar, since you are Vivekanand's manager, I wanted to know what were your thoughts when Vivekanand was nominated for this communication program?
Actually, when Vivekananda was nominated communication, actually his communication skills were better. But I wanted to excel in the communication skills because
Mhm.
compared to, for example, with his experience and everything, graduation, that uh, his verbal communication and then writing a letter or something is better, was better.
Mhm.
But one thing one needs improvement is sometimes the words for communicating and then how to make it effectively.
Okay.
That he has to improve. For that, actually, we have for that is the only thing that he need to develop. He needs to develop. That is what actually I felt when you start when I nominated for him.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, Vivekanand, you have been a part of the Vani program for almost 4 months now. Why don't you share your overall Vani experience?
Ma'am, actually, what I understand that Vaani app is nothing. It is a self-learning platform.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this program is structured very nicely,
Mm-hmm.
especially for a working professional.
Okay.
Actually, earlier I read in one of the Swami Vivekananda book that means no one can teach us. Means knowledge can be gained from our inside.
Okay.
Outside, the teachers will only taking off the cover, and that exactly Barney does. Really, it was a great learning experience, and I came to know many new things about myself that helped me to regain my confidence.
Great. That's wonderful. Thank you, Vivekanand. Mr. Prabhakar, now that we are at the fag end of the program, you shared your initial expectations from the program, but what are the changes now that you observe in him?
Now he is able to articulate some better compared to the before the program,
Mm-hmm.
and he also actually his language is also better, has improved,
Okay.
and we normally for as a safety department he needs to develop a lot of alerts and write-ups and the case studies for
Okay.
communicating with that team members, communicating with our own PT and IC staff and everything at sites and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, safety department doesn't mean actually basically it's just there should be a lot of effective communication from the safety department because the behavior of the people or staff whoever workman will change only through the communication only. It's not we cannot overnight we can change the behavior. That is one of the reason, especially for the safety department, we wanted to have such a program because whatever we wanted to communicate that should be done in a proper way. For example, sometimes guys who we all have different mother tongue, so
Right.
we normally think in the mother tongue and then we'll try to convert into the
Hmm.
English and then we'll put it. That area only we that is the drawback for everybody because we
Okay.
do it's only in only in language for everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
over only and the practice only it can be changed. So in order to facilitate that only, actually though our guys are very good in all the things and everything, there is almost 80% they're good, only 20% only there should be some facilitation to bring it to make the communication more effective.
Hmm.
In that process only we have put for this all the guys for this Vani program. But Vivekananda, I understand is actually he has used this opportunity very nicely, and then I'm also seeing that a weekly report where we are told where he is attending all the programs and everything, and then he's one of the champion or something is there. That way it is actually he has better utilized the program.
Right.
And after this program, what one thing that I found is he is article about the earlier also he used to write the alerts and everything for nicely, but he uses some more appropriate words and everything. Now he's trying to put it. That is one thing actually that is good, because one presentation also is trying to improving the presentation.
Mhm. Great. So, like you mentioned, he is one of the champions. In fact, the number of submissions is 160 plus submissions on the Vani app, and I think that is quite commendable. So, Vivekanand, what motivated you to practice, and be so consistent on this platform? Because that is quite a feat that you've achieved with the number of practices on the Vani app.
Ma'am, honestly speaking, English communication is skill was one of my barrier in my professional career growth.
Okay.
Miss, actually earlier, Miss, as per my roles and responsibility, I had to interact with workmen. So
Mhm.
there I used to speak Hindi because the worker understand local languages.
Hmm.
So at that time, I never realized that English communication will be my barrier. But with the change in time and this due to pandemic, teams introduced. So we have to face many meetings with our top management. So
Hmm.
at that time, I realized that English is very poor. So we have to improve this. So in this regard, I really thanks my management for giving opportunity to enhance my English learning. So only this was my miss with the change of time and my
Mhm.
roles and responsibility was my motivation to improve or enhance my English communication.
Great. It's good to see that the management is so supportive. And again, the realization should come from within. Like you said, Vani is also a self-learning app, but apart from that, Vani also focuses on personalization for each and every
Yeah.
learner. So how do you think this personalized approach of Vani helped you?
No, ma'am, this hyper personalized approach was really very good and
Mm-hmm.
it was very helpful for us. Means the way the module was structured and it was prepared after our initial assessment, means as per the individual needs, is
Mm-hmm.
really effective. And due to that only we are able to miss at present I am to able to speak in front of you and TP sir. Else it was not possible. So, Miss, as I believe that every humans have different learning capabilities, and the Bani identifies that capabilities, and they structured this program according to that one. So it helped a lot.
Thank you, Vivekanand. It's good to hear such feedback from our learners. Mr. Prabhakar, could you share a few instances where he had to communicate with the senior management and that could leave an impact? Sir, you are on mute. Mm,
He is with me. He's with my team. Actually, he's like a more or less like actually from HQ sitting and working. He means that we need a lot of interaction with the senior management,
mhm,
because his role is like that. Because since we are sitting in HQ, what are the policy changes? What are the management review meetings? All has to be conducted at HQ where all the senior management team is sitting. So that is actually one of the areas that we wanted. We wanted the Vivekananda to attend this program,
okay.
because every month we'll have a review meeting, or every quarterly there will be a review meeting with the HQ and with our management, top management. So for that, he need to prepare some PowerPoint presentations. Then
Mhm,
he need to minute that whatever after the meeting, he has to make a minutes of meeting, consolidate the points put forth by the senior management for action. All
okay.
the things needs a language proficiency, especially because not like because earlier his role was on its side where he need to interact more. It is like a 70% interaction with the workman, 30% is with the staff and everything. But here it is reversed, because 80% and 90% will be only the staff and everything, only hardly 10% with the workman. So
Okay.
there he needs a lot of fluency in the article, selection of appropriate words while preparing MOM, and selection of appropriate words in discussing with the senior management during the meeting. That is
Hmm.
actually where the area is concerned. he started focusing on that one, and then that is really coming out. Because if you see the minutes of meeting being prepared in the last 3 months, when he came in January, and then now it is almost 5 months over, there are a lot of drastic improvements only from guide. And basically he only prepares, and just I'm only giving some minor comments only. This is what actually is happening. So that way actually it is really I feel that improvement is remarkable. Already he might have got that skill set. Further, it has been improved. That is what I can tell. His capability and then his competency has been improved. That is what I can tell. Basically, actually, as you know, when you are sitting in a headquarters, you need to be as like a management representative. Actually, you need to prepare a lot of documents for the management only, because we are not we are only what we are getting inputs from site and everything, and then we need to put forth points for the management for take any policy decisions, and then and strategic decisions. So in that case, I think this role is much more important when preparing a document for which will help person take some policy decisions. Like example, for example, whatever meeting we are discussing, having with our BU heads and SBG heads and then IC head, that needs to be properly documented. Unless until the document comes properly, it's very pakka, and then communication is very clear, that actionable points will not be able to take action on the points what we discussed, because it is all policy decisions, and some are all policy decisions, some are all strategic decisions to be taken at the management level. That is the, I think actually I find is improvement in developing that skill of preparing a minutes of meeting. Minutes of meeting for the top management meeting is really preparing is really consolidate the points in a single page or something, key points, and then come out with the appropriately sentence, and then to so that it should not be like a story or something. It should be very crisp, and then it should be also convey the points what was discussed during the meeting.
Right, right. So the stakes are very high when we are communicating
Yeah,
with the senior management.
senior management,
Documentation
yes,
should be in order.
definitely.
Well, I'm glad that you could see that improvement. And Vivekanand, I'm sure you must feel wonderful to hear such words from Prabhakar sir. It's always good to hear when our seniors share a feedback about us. So I think that's a job well done. Like Mr. Prabhakaran explained, your communication with the management. How about your experience when you communicate now with your peers or your subordinates?
My experience.
No, Vivekanand's. Vivekanand.
Miss with peers and subordinate, no, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Miss, at the very initial, ma'am, this was Miss. Actually, I was totally out of the thought while discussing or while doing submission on Vani app. But this with the time, many e-learning module or this content were uploaded by our coaches.
Okay.
So especially that mind mapping, that tool was very effective. And with that tool, we are able to thought on given topic or while discussing with our peers and subordinates. Yes, we are able to put my thought in front of them. And in this journey of 4 months, I utilized YouTube also,
Okay.
especially that Impact Guru channel on YouTube. Means there are so many motivational speeches are there.
Okay.
So I utilize those things, and recently my coaches podcast on mobile.
All right.
So there are also many content, means good content on podcast. So all this helped me, and now I am free, feeling free while talking or while discussing with my peers and subordinates.
There is no hesitancy now, and you feel the communication has become more precise and to the point.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So, what was, if you have to pinpoint one key learning from your communication fitness program, what will that be, which has helped you the most?
Yeah, actually, there are main three key learnings, ma'am, that I want to tell.
Sure.
First one is mind mapping,
Okay.
means thought process through mind mapping. That is with the who, why, how, and what.
All right.
And second one is sentence structuring. that is through SVOPT.
Right.
This is very is good tool. And third one is, ma'am, that one option was there in Vaani app for daily loud speaking. With
Right.
that, I gained that articulations and clear communications
Hmm.
and fluency through our daily submissions.
Okay.
So these are the four tools, means four key in means learning which I learned from Vaani.
Okay. And like Prabhakar sir pointed out that usually, people are in the habit of translating from the mother end. But these tools like
Yes, ma'am.
SVOPT really helps when we want to avoid the translation and communicate. When we think in English, we should speak in English and not translate from
English,
our
yes.
mother tongue. So that is
Yes,
wonderful, Vivekanand. Prabhakar sir, do you think his productivity has increased at the workplace now? Sir, you're on mute.
He has, because basically he is developing a lot of documents and everything. So once this English speaking skill increases, writing communication skill increase, definitely it will increase the productivity.
Right. Yeah, like you explained earlier, also the MOMs and all have improved and the articulation has improved. Great, sir, that you're able to notice that change in the productivity. Vivekanand, like you said, you use tools like YouTube and other things also. How do you think Vani is different from a standard communication fitness program?
no, ma'am. Actually, YouTube is different and Vaani is different. Vaani is basically designed for English fitness coach only. And here in Vaani, they are following hyper personalized approach, which is really totally different from a standard communication program. And the second thing, ma'am, is one-to-one learning process. Means usually what happens, we are not speaking out due to fear in mind that people will laugh on us due to our poor English communication. But in Vani, we are learning one to one. That is one very good thing what I observed.
Okay.
And here the coaches are available all the time, and that Vani team is also available 24 into 7. And we can submit our submissions anytime. That depends on us. Yes,
Yes.
whether we have to upload on in morning or in evening, that
Right.
purely depends on us. So this is really different from other program. So for this, I really appreciate Vani team and coaches.
Thank you so much, Vivekanand. Mr. Prabhakar, I started with you and I would like to end with you also. Would you recommend Vani for your other subordinates as well?
Okay, we can. I can recommend. I will recommend. And I wanted to know whether you are providing any, because last time when we had a actually internal feedback, we discussed with that all the Vani coach who are taking who are part of the Vani team coaching, and we wanted to know what is that improvement, and then they have come out with some requirements like they want some materials and everything, that link or something for that they can read after this also. Maybe whether you are providing such type of like your recommended books, recommended articles to improve the product, improve the English communication, article English communication skills.
Sure,
Like
sir.
that, if you have anything, if you are recommending, then in the case, it will be continuous process for them, because it cannot be overnight. Anything can be 4 months if you give training also, unless
Of
until
course.
you practice, it is very difficult to communicate.
Sure.
So you have any such recommendations for any articles or good books? Because normally reading lot of things will only develop the improve the performance of the, especially in English communication.
Absolutely, sir.
Also, you can include it so that it can be useful, because people told our staff told that is the requirement. They will need such type of materials and everything, so that they can also read the materials when they're doing the free time and everything. Even if the link for the material is also better, good for the product.
Definitely, sir. Thank you for bringing it up. Actually, a lot of learning material is added in the app itself. So, like we said, that Vani is a personalized program. So, for example, Vivekanand has specific needs So the coach, according to that, adds that material to his playbook where he practices. So not only is he practicing, the learner can also read all those materials specifically if he needs, let's say, something on communication, on any particular concept in communication. So the coaches keep adding those topics to the playbook. Apart from that, like, it's a coach and learner one-on-one thing. So that is how the coaches also recommend, if they feel that certain things is required, probably they would recommend that we can read this article or this particular book. So the learning material is definitely curated in the playbook as well. Still, if any a particular learner is looking for more, he can always get in touch with the coach, and coach will be able to provide that, definitely.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Vivekanand
Thank
and Mr. Prabhakar, for connecting with me today and sharing your feedback. This really means a lot coming from our learners and their managers. Thank you once again.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.